touched on strategy, and it's about creating a brand. It's about creating that clarity in your message. And this is really important because clarity, consistency, and authenticity are the three pieces of a branding puzzle. So what is a brand? If you break down a brand, I'm going to go down each of these little yellow stickers and I'm going to take them all off, and I'm going to teach you about each piece, but I'm going to make it finite. I'm not going to give you a massive puzzle piece and then say, all right, there's 20 pieces in here. I'm just going to give you the overview that you need to know tonight, and I'm going to go through it in the next 15 minutes. Go. So the strategy we've talked about breaks down into clarity, consistency, authenticity. Okay, so your clarity of message is what we've just gone through. Consistency is producing something consistent, like this webinar we're doing each month. We're going to produce an article, ideally each week. We're going to create a podcast at some point, Alison and I, and we'll release that each week. So that's consistency, and it a bit like a television program where every Thursday night at 9 o'clock I look forward to watching Suits. That's just me, that's what I like, and on Thursday night I look forward to it, and you know, it's the excitement of that and the build-up of that, and that's what you want for your audience. You want for your audience to be excited about the next release, okay? And then authenticity. Well, you guys, if you're on the call, if you're attracted to Heidi, if you're attracted to me, it's all about authenticity. You've got that box ticked. No problem. So the clarity piece I've just given you about branding and the 6 to 8 word strapline and the I help to do or understand so that, because if you sit down and spend half an hour and work that out and brainstorm it and find a buddy inside here and you work with your buddy and you come out with the solution, and then you ask each other, you join and say, here's my, Laurence did that poll, can you help me guys, which one's the best? And then you reduce it down and then you did another one, and you get what you feel is the right message, and then you take it out into the world and you see what response you get. And when you have no friction, that's the one. No friction and lots of demand, that you've hit the message. That's the right message, okay? So that's how do you know that you've got it right. So we're going to now move into the you bit. Okay, so there are 3 types of expert. Now this is the expert industry. We've talked previously about how it's going to become, it's reaching its maturity, the expert industry, probably this time next year in the States, and then we tend to follow maybe 3 to 6 months later. So if you're in the States, you've got to catch up and work hard. If you're in the UK, you've got a little bit longer, as you know, that tends to happen. So platform maturity in terms of the expert space, people going to experts. Now this means, so for example, you go to an expert at that moment for that challenge. So you go to a dentist today, a GP tomorrow, a psychologist the next day, whatever it is that you need. You don't see doctors and dentists and psychologists competing and fighting against each other. It just doesn't happen. It's, I have this need today, I go to this expert today through referral, through recommendation, through locality, whatever it is that is driving that decision, that's what you do. So the expert space is you have these needs as you go through your business's growth, and you pull in those expertise. So like to start with, you'll need a website framework that will be like the one I showed you earlier. You then might need some help doing some copywriting and assist getting the stuff out of your head and onto the website. Creating the flyers, you might need a graphic designer, you might need a printer who can then print your flyers and your business cards. You might need these skills at different stages, and you go to these experts as you require those needs. You create the clarity around your message and your branding, so you keep your branding consistent. You have, like in Heidi's, you see that little logo with the little tree on all of her slides, so the slides are the same. What you see on the box sets are the same. What you see on her social media pages, like her Facebook fan page, it's that consistent branding, consistent messaging. For example, Hey House, they have that little, you know, the little Hey House logo on everything. It's about creating a brand, consistency, clarity, and authenticity around your name. You're marketing your name, remember. So yourname.com, that's who we're marketing, because today you might be marketing Reiki, tomorrow you might be marketing hypnosis, you may be marketing something else tomorrow. Okay, so we're keeping that perspective. So you have these three types of experts. So we've just gone over what is an expert. It's somebody who has a need and you're able to fulfill that need. So you've got the role model expert. Alison, raise your hand. That's Alison. She's the role model expert. She's the therapist who is doing it. Now, she's part of the Sensitives in Business brand. She's part of the community as a demonstration to you guys, because it's easy enough for you to sit there and say, oh, well, if Heidi can do it, then, you know, she's great, she's really good at what she does, she's an accomplished speaker, it's easy for her. Or it's easy for Laurence because he's great with technology and he understands technology and he has access to people if he doesn't know how to do it. It's easy for him. But what about Alison? Well, she's a therapist like you. She's doing it like you. She's out there in the trenches, working with the general public, speaking to them, having the same challenges as you are. She's in a country in Ireland that's perhaps slightly more challenged than the UK or than in the States or some other parts of the developed world, where, you know, financially people perhaps don't have that luxury of being able to have the disposable income to spend on something. So she's maybe up against that challenge as well as all the other challenges that she's experiencing with, you know, understanding marketing, understanding her speciality, understanding technology. So she's out there showing you and demonstrating to you that there's nothing, if your fire inside of you that you said you had, otherwise you still wouldn't be on this call, if that fire inside of you had gone, then she wouldn't be able to do these things. But she's doing them, demonstrating to you, so she's your role model. Okay? So you then have the results expert. That's clearly Heidi. She's got the results. You can see by that pyramid that she's absolutely got the results. And then you've got the reporter, which is me. So the other strapline I gave you was the behind the scenes access. You know, it's looking behind the scenes. This is opening up our business to you, to show you what we've done, to show you how we've done it, the actual buttons we've pressed, the actual words we've used, everything we can give you to help you be successful. Because in order for Heidi to move up one level or to raise the profile so that, you know, the likes of Hay House don't go over to the States and keep bringing over Americans for their I can do it. This is just an example. No criticism of Hay House, it's a reality. The UK hasn't said, hey, hang on, you know, we're here, we have our own skills, we have our own experts, we have our own talent, our industry, our market is slightly different. Stop bringing over the Americans, let us home grow this talent, let us take on this baton rather than you having to feel the need to bring the Americans over. This is one of my passions. We need to demonstrate, and the way that we can do that is by the local groups like Suzanne Cambray, who's doing a Reiki share evening every month or every few weeks, and she gets in local expert speakers and builds a community. Well, then when that community grows, she becomes elevated as the expert there. She brings her people to Inspire, for example, who plug into Heidi, and she gives back, and it's a sharing community, and it's a complementing, not competing. There's no, oh, Suzanne doesn't think, oh no, I can't introduce my people to Heidi because there's competition. No, Suzanne offers something locally that her local people enjoy and benefit from. As Suzanne grows, she'll start to do an Inspire. She'll start to create something on a grander scale. But in order for Suzanne to do that, she needs you to take on the baton of what she created locally. There is a Suzanne in your local area. She needs you to take on that baton so that Suzanne can create things like Heidi's creating, and then Heidi can move on to other things as well. And then the UK industry, and Ireland included in that, grows. It has this elevation that we then recognize as a viable mainstream industry in this country and incorporating Ireland as well. And you have the recognition, and then they don't need to bring the people over from the States. They don't need to bring over the Dorines, the Dwaynes, and the Louise. And you know, those guys, well, how long are they going to be around for? So let's look at this. Okay, I've talked already for 9 minutes on this, so let's move on quickly, because there are those three experts, and this is me reporting this information back to you and giving you the solidity, the information that you need. Okay, so this is the concept that I want to just take you through very quickly, which is my find, buy, do, tell concept, which is when I said to Heidi in 2008, I want to do this full time with you, I introduced her to the find, buy, do, tell, and I said this is the concept that I've spent many, many hours listening to all these other experts, and I've condensed and solidified this information, and I've created our picture, our jigsaw puzzle, and this is what it looks like. It's called Find, Buy, Do, Tell. And she, to be perfectly honest with you, she laughed for the first time. But now, looking at her business and the growth of her business based on this model, this is the model that's driven, and this cog in the middle is her. You know, she's worked damn hard, and some of those of you who know her recognize that she's perhaps worked slightly too hard. This is the cog in the middle that really has driven all of this. And what these pieces are, so the find, the buy, the do, and the tell, these are the things, these are the actions that your clients take. So they find you, they buy from you, they do things with you, or they do your courses or programs, and then they tell their friends and their family. And the pieces that connect these are the bits that you do. And as I said previously, if you spend 80% of your time on these activities, converting, delivering results, and raving fans, if you spend your time there, then you will get the success that Heidi has had. So the other piece is this strategy piece, which is about bringing people into you here and then multiplying yourself out using systems. Okay, so bring people in here to you, you let technology tell you who you should be speaking to, and then you multiply yourself using systems. That is the jigsaw piece puzzle. Okay, and I'm going to go very quickly through the find section first. So there's only 4 types of traffic. There's paid for traffic, there's content traffic, there's other people's platforms, and then there's the media press. So there's only 4 ways that you can get traffic. And what we're talking about with Facebook is paid for traffic, and we're focusing on one channel source to start with. We're working on one piece. We're not going to worry about those other pieces. We're going to work on one piece, bringing people to you using technology to allow you to recognize who is the best people to speak to. The buy section over here, we've got only the 3 things that your website must do in order to be able to convert people. So they've got to add, your website's got to add value, it's got to capture leads, and it's got to sell stuff. So adding value is things like what we're putting onto Sensitives in Business, which is valuable content. The sign-up box is the capturing leads, and selling stuff is things like the membership, the box set, and the full course. Those are, and services and events that we're putting on. Those are the things that you can sell. But you have to create adding value. You've got to get eyeballs, and then those create through the conversion to people to buy. Okay. So then moving on to doing. How do you deliver your service to the world? Well, you have to, absolutely have to, wow your customers. It's no longer sufficient today to impress. You have to wow them. You have to make them feel like they are the most special, most important piece of the jigsaw puzzle for you. They are absolutely. And it's about creating results for your customers. They've come to you for speed and ease of results. They've come to you for results. They've got a problem that you need to be able to help them solve, or give them perspective that it's not quite so painful, or it's not so bad as what they have in their mind. Giving them perspective. They're coming to you for that perspective. You can't go in there and fix it for them. You can't go in there and, you know, do the, okay, if you're a masseuse, but they've got to participate in it. They've got to participate in the recovery and the healing. And all of you who have been doing this for long enough recognize that there's a difference between going in there and overgiving and going in there and helping and supporting and facilitating that growth. Okay, so there's a difference, and it's about creating a customer for life. So all of those of you who are members, we have a 74% retention rate on our membership. So people who join, 74% of them stay, and that means they stay for 2 years, or you guys stay for 2 years. Now that's not to say that we're bragging, it's to say that we create and have something that allows us to have a platform to build on, to keep reinvesting, to keep growing our business, because we have this regular income coming in. And it's a case of working with you to help, perhaps for you to have the opportunity to share Heidi's circle, and then maybe to have some of that as commission, as an affiliate program, something like that. But that, we will get to that in a later date. It might be something that you're interested in, rather than you having to create and, you know, build content yourself and be the expert straight away. You refer people as the intermediary, is what she teaches in her course, holisticbusinesstraining.com. it's about being the intermediary, where you refer people to others and you maybe earn some commission in the meantime. So there is that. It's about creating a customer for life. It's about how can I bring that customer in, because it's 5 to 10 times more expensive to, in fact, find another customer. Okay, so bring that customer in and keep them for life. So tell, moving on. Now this is obviously where free traffic comes from, other people's platforms. So that's other people telling and therefore finding you. So other people tell you, and the way to do that is to get raving fans. And there's the whole, 1,000 raving fans. If you can get 1,000 raving fans, you've got a business for life. So if you focus on telling people, it's about what's your strategy for testimonials collecting, how do you collect your testimonies, you have a strategy for that. You make it easy for them to share your content and have amazing content to share, but also have buttons that make it shareable. And you also support them on, not just saying, okay, here's a one-hit wonder, now you're off on your own. It's about supporting them through that growth, supporting them through those results, so that they feel like you're there for them. You're being supported, like we're supporting you now to grow and to grow your business. And then technology, well, that's just letting technology tell you who to work with. That's what I said earlier, which is to keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Focus on one thing first. Focus on the Facebook paid. Get the page up whereby you've either got a photo of yourself or a video of yourself, and then let people come to you with a strategy of the 15-minute no obligation call, and then convert them into your practice, where they become your customer and you become their advisor, their expert for that need right now. So become the marketer, as we said earlier. Don't become the technician. Just focus on the marketing. How do you understand this, and how do you multiply yourself? You use technology to do it. So you have your strategy, which only brings in the people that you want to work with. You let technology tell you who to work with, and then you let technology keep in contact with those people over a long period of time with follow-up sequences and email marketing and campaigns that keep people close to you by giving them good, valuable content. So that's the helicopter perspective that I've given you, and it's hopefully have been of value to you. It's maybe things that you've heard from other people, but it's putting it together into bite-sized big chunks that you can then drill down into and focus in on.